Good evening, everyone. This is the Raynham Board of Selectmen, Tuesday, April 9th. The minutes, gentlemen.
Yes, I make a motion that we approve the minutes as presented.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. We have no department heads or committees here this evening. Appointments. We do have a letter from the Council on Aging recommending that John Texera, I believe we did that last week,
Yes.
but I'll read it again. John Texera, Lorraine Nickerson, and Antoinette Baptiste be voted in as associate members. What say you?
Yeah, make a motion that we appoint them as trustees.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay. We have no public hearings this evening and no business. Do we have any old business?
None, Madam Chair.
Town, boy, Mandy, that was fast. Town administrator, already? Town administrator's report.
I've given the board a draft warrant. Last week we had articles. This week we have a draft warrant. So if you see anything that needs to be changed, let me know, because next week we'll have a final version that the board will need to vote on. And I did review those with town council, and we did make some changes from the previous week. So,
Okay.
and then the special town meeting that's on the same date as the annual, and articles, so we need to have those by April 19th in order to get the warrant together for the board's April 23rd meeting. And I've let department heads know that. On the collector treasurer position, we have still have just 2 applicants, even with the print edition of the Beacon out, and applications are due this Friday. A couple weeks ago, we got a proposal from the town of Norton. It's a legislative proposal that would, it would actually count units that have, 40B units that have been approved but not built. And we have 90 40B units approved for Doug King at Riverview Meadows, which are not counted in the state's subsidized housing list. So it would be a benefit to us. It would put us well over the 10% if those 90 units counted.
Yep, I make a motion that we accept that.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Notify the town of Warren.
Our gaming consultants, B&S, have been hard at work, meeting with department heads yesterday, today, and tomorrow, gathering information on possible municipal impacts of the slot parlor proposed by Raynham Park LLC. And in conjunction with that, we do have a public forum on the gaming application of Raynham Park scheduled for Wednesday, April 24th, and tentatively 7 p.m. here at Town Hall. And the other upcoming item is the rabies clinic this Saturday, April 13th, 12 to 2 p.m. behind the fire station. The cost is $10, with proceeds going to the Raynham Public Library. That's all I have.
Anyone have any questions for
None.
Andy? Selectmen's report?
None, Madam Chair.
None, Madam Chair.
I did go last evening to the parade committee meeting at the Merrill School, and we have large contingents of people who have joined the committee and wanting to participate in it. So this is going to really be excellent. And I read your article. Somebody had not, was it you, Mark, that had an article in the?
What? About the memorial parade?
Yes.
Oh, I mentioned it in my Selectmen's article, and then someone else wrote it.
Okay. I know someone had called and said, did you read it? And I said, well, I hadn't heard it. But nevertheless, there was an article in the newspaper regarding it. And it's coming together very, very nicely. Pat is selling the T-shirts. The town clerk's office is selling the T-shirts. And we have quite a few already sold. They sold over 200 T-shirts, which is fantastic. And chiefs were both there, so they're giving their blessings on the certain things that they expect to have and whatever. So everybody get ready, because we are going to have a parade on the 25th of May, weather permitting. I will go into correspondence. Okay, the first thing we have this evening is from Mass DOT. And this is that the Mass DOT Highway Division will begin spring sweeping operations along its state highways, weather permitting, on or about April 8th. In accordance with Mass DOT Highway Division practice, it is anticipated that cities and towns maintain existing sidewalks located within the state highway system. Therefore, prior to our spring sweeping, Mass DOT is requesting that your city or town sweep all sidewalks on the state highway within your municipality into the roadway gutter line. Please use caution and good judgment on the timing and placement of the sweepings into the roadway as not to create a hazardous condition. And I'm sure we will make sure that the highway department does that. This is from the Commonwealth of Massachusetts Executive Office of Public Safety and Security. Okay, they're pleased to announce the availability of new federal funding to municipalities within the Commonwealth. For pedestrian and bicycle safety enforcement and equipment, up to $150,000 for grants to municipal law enforcement agencies to develop or enhance effective pedestrian and bicycle enforcement efforts to reduce fatalities and injuries in those areas. Underage alcohol enforcement, up to $275,000 in grants. High visibility traffic enforcement, up to $1.2 million for eligible municipal police departments. I hope we're going to go for some of these. Did we get
Yeah,
that?
motion the floor to the chief, and I'd like us to apply for all four.
Absolutely.
Second
And the
motion.
last one, of course, would be the passenger safety, I'm sorry. I think we would recommend that
Yep, I
all
second
four
that
be
motion.
going to the regular, whatever department it takes, Randy, to do it, and that's a vote yes. This is from Hometown Builders to the board, respectfully requesting a waiver of the additional building permit fee in the amount of $1,632 for the above permit, which is an extension on Jess Marie Roads. I think the building inspector
At
would
his
get this.
discretion.
Too bad he wasn't.
Yeah, make a motion
Still
to send
here.
it to the building.
Second.
Yeah.
All in favor?
Aye.
We can make a determination.
Yep.
I believe we have all read the articles from the school department. Randy, these haven't gone to Mark or anything, have they? They have not. They have not? All right, go ahead. What were we gonna say? You just got these today, all right, so these will go on to Mark for his approval, and whatever it is he has to insert in there to make it good for town meeting. This is from the Commonwealth of Massachusetts, the Office of the Governor. Who has filed the transportation bond bill? This letter certifies that the Town of Raynham, Chapter 90, apportionment for fiscal year 2014 is provisionally $732,919, which, that's very good. This is all regarding the Chapter 90 program. I don't know how much of this is all going to pass either. It's still up to the Senate right now, so we'll see how that works. But right at this point in time, provisionally, it's $732,919 for Chapter 90. From our Park and Recreation Department, the Park and Recreation Commission reviewed the attached proposal for the Borden Colony agricultural land submitted by Anton Aruba at the April 2nd, 2013 meeting. After the review of the proposal, the Park and Recreation Commission voted to accept the proposal for a 5-year lease for 7.5 acres of land on the Borden Colony property. The details are as follows. The first year of the lease, the tenant will be rent-free, and the remaining 4 years will be $100 per acre for a total of $750 per year, with an option to review. The Park and Recreation Commission requests that the Board of Selectmen review the proposal and notify the Park and Recreation Commission of the Board of Selectmen's decision regarding this proposal. We've all looked at this proposal, and is all okay with everybody?
Make a motion that we approve this.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye, so you can tell Liz that's okay with us. our activity report for the month of March for the fire department. As of March 31st, 2012, they had 648 instances, and in March 31st, 2013, 699. It is growing every single year. These men do a fabulous job, fabulous job. Okay, we have some, the Alzheimer's fundraising on April 22nd. We have, what is this one? Oh, this is the same thing, Alzheimer's disease. All Alzheimer's? I believe that's it.
Motion that we adjourn the meeting and sign the-
We have
Oh,
to
I'm
make a
sorry.
motion to accept the Alzheimer's, to have this fundraiser on April 22nd.
Second
April
that.
22nd, yeah.
Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
On that. And let's see, what do we have? Press time, Mark, do you have anything?
Just wanted to make sure I understood something that's mentioned in the town administrator's report. What's going on with the town of Norton and proposal related to 40B units?
Okay. The town of Norton is seeking our assistance by advocating for a change in the state's current method of calculating a municipality's affordable housing inventory. And we certainly will go along with them in trying to help make some changes in that.
Does this have something to do with, I remember previously at a meeting it was talked about regionalizing housing authorities? That's not related?
No, that isn't related to it, though.
40B is affordable housing by private developers. Housing authorities are public.
So it's just about counting the 40Bs?
Yes, we have to have a certain percentage in the community of 40Bs. I believe it's still 10%, Randy? It's still 10%. And the communities are all supposed to meet that 10%. But there's different ways you can calculate to achieve 10%, and I think that's what Norton would like us to join them in trying to determine whether this way or that way is the better of the two.
Is there any motions or anything to report from the executive session earlier?
We had nothing from the executive session, actually.
All right, that's it.
Okay, thank you. Citizen and community input? Yes, Mr.
Louder.
Louder. I'm sorry, sir.
Brian Louder, 125 South Street East. I had spoken to Dennis Machado earlier. He'd be willing to come up and give some clarification to the board if needed on whose responsibility the road next to my home is. He's very clear, he's been very clear to me that it's the Board of Health that's responsible for that road. The building department will be responsible for any structures or any building that would happen. Contrary to what Mr. Pacheco has been explained, or his understanding to it is, the Board of Health is responsible for that road. I don't know if you have any input, if you had a chance to speak to him regarding that, or if we could have him come up and speak about that.
Yeah, we've had discussions on it, Brian, and my understanding is right now everything's in compliance.
Last week, you said you had nothing to do with the road.
Yeah, but from last week, I've had discussions with both our health agent and our building commissioner, so.
Maybe that's the clarification I need, that there's still a road next to my house with no permit as far as I know. And if there is a permit, the permit certainly would have expired by now if it's been there for a couple of years. Any thoughts on that?
Randy?
No, I think we'd have to ask town council that kind of question. And I think if the board says, I will ask Mark for his opinion.
That's fine with me.
Okay.
Make a motion that we ask our town council with regard to the permitting.
Second.
Thank you very much. Also on the two properties, the one property next to me, the health inspector did actually have them boarded up. He still hasn't got a chance to look inside. I wondered if as the Board of Health, what your thoughts are on getting these two homes actually inspected for compliance as far as being habitable dwellings. They've both been empty for 10 years. I had some correspondence back and forth, excuse me, with the new health agent. And I understand that the second property, which is at 57 South Street East, there's a sensitivity issue, whereas the owner is actually in a nursing home. She's been in that nursing home for probably 10 years. I'm not sure if the children own the house, but it's just still continuing to fall into disrepair. Same thing with the house next to me. It was purchased 9 years ago by the current owners. Nothing's changed. Both the interiors are uninhabitable. I'm wondering if the Board of Health can look at them, have them looked at, and at least move these along. Any thoughts on that?
Madam Chair? The one that was boarded up has met now the guidelines of the Board of Health. They complied with the orders that were set forth by the health agent, and so there's no further action we can take at this time. Nobody's inhabiting it, and so therefore you can't do anything else in the Board of Health other than what's already been done. So no other action at this time can take place on that property. The other property, I can only say that we are working on it, and it could enter into litigation, so beyond that, we can't comment.
Okay. As far as the home next door, I understand that his issue was to make sure it's secured. At no time did he enter the home, did he look to see if there were any health violations. I think that he'd be compelled to do so. All you'd have to do is look at the house. There's asbestos siding falling off, there's no plumbing, there's no sanitary facilities. All you have to do is look in the windows. It's been a constant eyesore for the neighborhood. There's graffiti on the sides. While the owners, they do mow the lawn, it hasn't changed in 10 years. I don't know how much more I have to say about that. Something has to change. The abandoned housing initiative, I actually spoke to the Attorney General's office personally, and that is available to all communities. While it's not about the financing, it's about them helping to get compliance. And the way they get compliance is by making sure these buildings, boarded up or not, meet the sanitary code. That house next to me, there's no way that meets the sanitary code. And the sanitary code being it needs to have heating appliance, it needs to have sanitary facilities, bathrooms, kitchens. It has none of that. I think the only way to get these things into compliance or get them to move along is to ask the owners to either bring it into compliance or tear it down. There's no in between. There are some available options from the Attorney General's office. Again, I spoke to them personally, not on behalf of the town, but as a citizen, I can send you the email that we had back and forth. What they do is they let the person know that they're not in compliance with the sanitary code. They would then give them X amount of days, as the town would, to come into compliance. If not, they could threaten with receivership of that property. The person I spoke to said there's a 75 to 80% compliance rate after that point. That could apply to both of those properties. I guess I appreciate the fact that there's a motion in place for the road for the town council to look at it. Can we try to do something else with these two houses? It's been 10 years both.
Well, I just told you, Brian, one of the properties we're working on, and I can't comment any further.
Okay.
So you have to take that for what it is.
Okay.
I can't comment beyond that. We have laws that we have to follow.
I understand.
So, I mean, I can't offer any more comment beyond that. The other property, our health agent has been out there. He issued a compliance order. He notified me today that they were in compliance with that. There's obviously other routes we can go to and we can explore them. But this board has taken action in 7 days since you've appeared before here. And so I don't want there to be any illusion that we haven't done anything, because we have. So,
What the agent did, he didn't inspect it for compliance with the health code. Let's not.
but he did order to have it secured, which it was.
He did.
Yes. So again, I want to make sure everybody's clear that we have done stuff. We are making
I
progress.
appreciate that. Thank you very, very much. But the next step is getting compliance. Because again, my patients are running thin, as it is with the road. And that's been 10 years, there's been a road paved next to my home, that nothing's happened. And I know things happen slowly, but I need things to get moving. I can't keep the house the way it is. Can't do it. So I appreciate the effort on having town council look at that. Could we also make a motion to see if there's other options we can explore within the Board of Health on the houses that are, I understand the second one, but the one that's closest to me?
I believe our health agent is already exploring other options.
Okay.
So,
I'll check with them. Thank you very much.
Thank
Madam
you.
Chair.
you're welcome.
Minutes, I'm sorry, adjournment.
Yep, I make a motion that we adjourn. Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Thank you very much for coming.